Okay, so I went back and looked at my other video, this tumnus turn video that I did, and I couldn't remember what the calculations were. I used to have them written down, and I don't anymore. So anyway, I was able to kind of figure out how much I mixed for that, knew what that square footage of that counter was. Roughly, it's 3 ounces per square foot. This is 30 inches, this is 25. Big hole here, this is 1 square foot. So 30 by 24, we'll just call it 24 by 24, which would be 2 feet by 2 feet. That's 4 square feet of area here. And then these are 4 inches. The backsplashes, and this is 24, so 8 by 24 is just say a square foot there, and another square foot there, so 6 square feet. Okay, 6 square feet times 3 is 18. So I have 6 ounces. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. I have 1 part already in here, and I'm going to put the other part in, and it's going to get up to about here, but that should be plenty to mix it. I was going to use a bigger container, but I decided not to because I'm going to split it up anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 12 ounces of the A side, and that's off camera right now, you can't see it, but sanding them off a bit so you don't see the wood grain on those edges. Here I left the wood grain, instead of painting this, I'm leaving the wood grain because it kind of looks like waves. So if you see through to some of that, it might give it a little bit of character anyway. And with my test piece, here you can see that the blue pretty much covered everything in this area, so I'm not too concerned about it. And that little bit of brown, might give it some different color, a different shade, like a greenish shade or whatever the case may be. So I think we'll be okay, because I've done this 12 times. No, I haven't. This is the first time ever doing it, anything like this part. Done it multiple epoxy counters and things like that, but this is the bridging the gap between craft and countertop. So in case you didn't see this earlier in the video, not sure if I'm showing that or not, but this is epoxy glued down sand. I just threw, oh, that was the other thing in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it real close, but I took some glass, little different colors of glass that I had, and I beat them with a hammer inside of a couple bags, thicker bags. I put 2 bags together to make sure that the glass didn't go right through, and beat it with a hammer to make real small shards for scale. Obviously you're not going to put big chunks here. Not only would it not look right and not to scale, but it would also stick up, and we don't want that. So we want this stuff to be low profile. So this is going to be the first coat, which is the color coat. The plan is to put another epoxy coat over top of that, just to kind of put it all together. But just gonna dip this in. You can see how blue that got just from that little stick. Come on. I think so. Okay. Still have quite a bit of clear. You'll see why I need that. Quite a bit of clear because I'm going to always mix up more clear and color. And then you can see this is pretty white. Okay. bubble swap them?
Yes.
The next afternoon, so it hasn't quite been 24 hours. It's pretty set up, pretty hard. I want to put another layer on top of this. I'm not going to do that necessarily right now, but I do want to do that within the 24-hour period. But I'm going to take some shots, some video here, where you can see, because of the sand and the glass that I chopped up to make some sea glass stuff, you can see that there's a lot of stuff sticking up. Now, here's the thing. Another layer of epoxy might cover that, but I don't know. I want to skim this or sand this down a bit. Now here's the thing. I'll grab some more video with this camera once it's done, but that's my before. All right, so now I'm going to start to sand, but if I used something like this is cushioned, large, and I go around, what's going to happen is, because it's cushioned and it's flexible, it's going to go in all the different areas and it's going to sand here. Now sometimes you want that to sand everything, but I really don't want to mess with this color at all. And you can put scratches in and the next coat of epoxy will cover the scratches, but because this coloring is in the epoxy itself, I could end up sanding here and putting a deep line in or something that actually changes the color or something that you'll see. I don't want to do that, so I don't want a flexible device to sand. I want something that's straight, that's just going to get the top stuff. So I thought about it and I got a flat file. The other thing is, this isn't going to really sand the glass or the rock, because it's not meant to really do that. So I'm going to basically mess up or put scratches in the epoxy without serving the purpose that I'm trying to serve. So this is actually a metal file. It's metal, made of metal, but you can also file metal. So I did a little testing over here. It stays straight, obviously, so when we come across, and let me see if I can get a shot for you. So when you come across, you can see, hopefully, there's a gap there, but it just hits the high stuff. So there's a high point right there. Maybe that's an easier way. You can see it's only on the high. So I'll go back and forth. You can see that gap is shrunk. If I move this, you can see that it only sanded there. That's the major high point there. So it's only sanding the high, it doesn't touch in between. So as long as I sand just to the point of getting close to this and stop, it should just knock down all the high stuff, and then the second coat of epoxy will be able to cover much better by having these things knocked down. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. You'll see it maybe in fast motion, and then, you know, we'll see the after effect. The difference. Oh. Again, you'll see that it's rough and it's good. This will actually grab onto the epoxy and hopefully hold it from moving as much. So that's not a big deal. That's going to be covered, but you can see all those big humps that we had before are pretty much gone. I don't see any major ones that a coat of epoxy won't cover. So ready for that top layer. Oh, I might get that real quick. But just going to delint this thing. Not a lot of stuff, but something. There's some hair on there and some other stuff. Okay. Foam brush. Alright, so we're going to just pour this and then move it, help it go to where we want it to go. And as we move this, I don't want too much building up around my tape dam. The tape dam is just to help us make sure the stuff goes where it should go. I can't see anything because it's crystal clear, which is a good problem to have. The thing is, by kind of painting it on, I'm making sure that the surface tension is broken. And I'm making sure that whatever I pour on here on out should easily flow. I'm just going to focus on this piece. I know I can grab the other pieces whenever. And I can do that later too. Right now I just want to get this main piece. Ooh, that is a lot. And a lot. And it is really hard to see where I am. I should have put a light over there. What we'll do is pour some more of this here, and then use that to coat the side. And again, I'm coating the side, making sure everything's covered with epoxy. That will restrict it will allow it to flow better, flow out, self-level. No surface tension here. It's going to be interesting around the edges here. I don't know. I might need to. I'm not sure. I'm just going to go around here kind of in the middle of it and pour some more. And that's just to kind of let it, I don't want to scrape the sides. The sides might have issues, so I just did that in the middle because I wanted to find level. Ultimately, I wanted to find level, which it's doing. Needs stuff here. I'll make sure I scrape this good. Just said don't scrape it, didn't I? We're gonna put some more in here. Problem with this is, I know this is a little bit off, so that's 2. I'm just going to put just a tickle more, and this should just be 1. Hopefully that doesn't screw everything up. We'll see. I have a light over there that I'll grab and put back there so I could use the reflection to see what's going on. If I'd have thought about it earlier, I would have done that. But I didn't. Seems good. I'm just going to go here. On the beach, where we know we need some. I'm just going to go, oops, just wasted some. We know the beach is going to be so I'm just going to go along the edge here, which is probably going to still end up being a little bit rough. But Okay. Let's put a light over there. Where did I put the light? Okay. Oh yeah, that helps quite a bit. Low here, low back in there. Definitely have enough coming on the sides. Okay. Yeah, light is clutch. Too worried about that. Okay. I'll show you what I'm doing with the light here. Go ahead and grab that. And what I'm going to do, squirt some more in here. 1, 2, now do I want to just kind of want to paint this on those. Okay. 1, 2. All right. So now I'm just making enough for the backsplashes. splashes. Reaching over like that's kind of dumb. Never claim to be smart. Okay, now. Okay. And then this. Okay, we'll get you in here so you can see why we use the light. Now if you go down lower, come across this way, across this way, and you can see areas that need it. I don't know if it's picking it up very well, but just kind of wanted to show you that so you can see using the light and the reflection. You can see obviously the reflection of things off the back wall. You could use that too. It's weird doing it with the camera because I'm not using my actual my eye to do it. I'm looking through the viewer. But anyway. Okay, and then I'm gonna let this set just a little bit longer, and then I'll hit it with the denatured alcohol mist. And you see those little bubbles all over, those will pop. But I want to give them time to kind of come up to the surface. Denatured alcohol, I did another video showing what that does, but basically it breaks the surface tension and allows those bubbles to pop. So you don't have bubbles in the finished product. It's instead of using heat or flame or carbon dioxide, it's kind of a safer way to do it. Unless you light a match. Okay, we'll be back.